Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This week I thought we would take a look at the peppers hiding in the plant quarantine behind me there, and then run downstairs and see how things are doing with those potato seedlings before we get into too much random babbling. Now that said, we're starting up here on the second floor landing because the light in there is that crazy purple Mars light. So I want you all to have some sort of warning before I open that door. Alright. This is official warning. So here we are in the upstairs bathroom that has become kind of a plant quarantine area because of, well, certain horrifying histories with aphids. So I thought if I was going to bring these plants inside, the best way to go was to quarantine them for, a little while. And I have to say, I am amazed by the number of flowers that I am seeing all over, at least this one plant. I haven't really taken a look at the others yet, but the leaves are nice and dark green. I haven't given these any kind of nutrients or anything, and Babette pointed out that leaving all of these weeds in here was like trying to feed, I can't remember if she said 12 or 20, but trying to feed far too many people on just one hamburger, and I'm leaving them in there anyway. It's kind of interesting to me that they haven't gotten terribly large, but they don't seem to be taking any of the nitrogen or such away from the plant. And really, air is like 70% nitrogen. So the idea that soil, bacteria, and biology is converting airborne nitrogen to feed the plants, especially if you have a variety of plants in there, just kind of seems to be backing it. I mean, I'm losing the flowers. They're falling off, so I'm missing a nutrient there somewhere, but it does not appear to be nitrogen. And so far, I still don't see any of those little sapsuckers on here. I mean, this poor bad brains pepper is really more of a it's a monster oregano planting now. I mean, that's just incredible. And we took a nice schwack off of that when Shocks made some homemade marinara sauce. So yeah, that is doing fantastically well. And we've got the third pepper. Again, we've got at least one flower on it there. See another little one there, that one's fallen off. But looking at the green, and it's hard to compare with this funky light, I know, but this is a very dark, vibrant green that I'm seeing. So that is absolutely wonderful. And we've also got the kalanchoe in here with its new additional companion plants that manifested themselves while it was outside. They all seem to be doing fairly well. Again, we've got a nice dark green from the growing plant, and this has even got a volunteer tomato coming up in it. It's got an actual tomato on it, so I don't think that's going to get too huge, but that's kind of interesting. So I definitely wanted to show you how these guys are doing. They haven't died off. We still don't have any of those sapsuckers. And so far, it kind of looks like they might live to see yet another year outside. It'd be great if we get some winter peppers, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm just glad to see they're alive and there's no sapsuckers. Now let's get out of this weird LED and go check out what's growing on down under a more normal light spectrum in the dungeon. Alright, so here we are down in the dungeon. The lights are a little more normal, and for a lot of you folks who the aquaponic garden sends running to the bathroom, you're in luck because the pump is not currently on. So let's check briefly on the aquaponic garden, the fish, and then yeah, we'll get to those potato seedlings. So I've really only got a couple of things intentionally growing in here right now. We've got the sage from, I don't know, 2 years ago now? This has been in here for a while. It looks a little ratty, but this sage looks beautiful under natural sunlight, and any of the artificial lights that I've put it under, I mean, it produces, it grows, it does okay, but it doesn't produce those same nice big leaves like even the ones we were seeing on the oregano upstairs under that funky light. I'm half tempted to take a couple cuttings and try that upstairs, actually. I just don't like working with that light. It's so hard on the eyes. And then we've got the aquaponic mint over here. Nice, lush, dark green. I'm not seeing any lack of nitrogen there, so therefore I'm assuming this is not a lack of nitrogen. This is just a lack of will to live. It's a pretty old plant. Might need to just get on to replacing it this year with something different. And then over here we have my 7 cuttings from the red currant bush outside. I never did get around to ripping the lower leaves off or snipping them off properly. I am just letting them dry and contribute their nutrients back to whatever is left of the plant, hoping that that will enable it to survive a little bit longer and put on roots. I have no science at all to back this kind of thinking. That's just kind of how I'm going with it, because I like to test ideas and, you know, learn something new and grow forward, and just that's what I do. So anyway, this is the top of the aquaponic garden here. Check on the fishies. And here we can see the remaining 13 of the 21 feeder fish I got all those years ago. And they are quite happy and healthy, although some of them are definitely larger than others. But still, their orange is quite bold. Most of these fish spent the summer outside, you know, living on bugs. And I got a little duckweed thrown into circulation towards the end of the summer there. And now that I know that they will, in fact, consume it, I'm going to be harvesting some of that basically every spring. And we're going to use the little black pond over by the garden to grow our duckweed. Seems we have a salamander that's taken up residence in there too, so that's kind of cool. But anyway, the feeder fish are doing absolutely wonderfully in this situation. So let's check out the survival rate on the... Oh, you know what? Before we do that, look at this. This is amazing. Yeah, that little tendril right there, that's the mouse melon coming back to life and doing its thing. Not quite sure what's going on with the base of the old mouse melon plant there. Kind of that weird growth going on. Hesitant to take it out because I don't know if that's the rhizome that's powering this, or if that's just a seed that fell down, or what. But I am very happy to see it growing there. Most resilient little plant, this mouse melon. Quite amazing. So yes, the Darwin table. Alright, so right now, the Darwin table is mostly, well, a wide variety of houseplants, really. We've got all of my assorted spider plants kicking around here. And then I still don't know what that is, and I'm hoping for a little feedback from people. If anybody does know what that is, please let me know in the comments below. Here is that aloe vera that we're trying to rescue. I don't know what's going on with it. I thought I had some new growth coming in there, but you know, looking down in the center, that does not look healthy. So, not quite sure what's going on. It's another one of those strange little cactus tree things. Once upon a time, I think we had a tag for it, but it is long since gone. Hey, looking down at the succulents here, I got these from Shocks. Looks like that one is doing something, because it was just that one leaf that I planted in there, so we've got some success. Might need a little bit of watering. Not quite sure. That one looks great. Doesn't look too bad there, so we'll see. But this tray here, these are the potato seedlings. Interesting little things that they are. Kind of look like oregano leaves to me, really. But in the next couple weeks, I'll probably divide these out. I've got a few of these little 9-cell planters around, and I think I've got 4 of these under trays, so that'll work nicely. We'll spread them out and see what comes of it. I've never grown potatoes from seeds before, and it's my understanding that, you know, much like when you grow an apple from a seed, you're probably not going to get what you planted it from kind of variants there. There's lots of variations apparently in potato genetics, but I don't know. Anything at all would be an interesting result, I think, so it'll be fun to see what happens. We got this cilantro here that popped up as a weed in one of the houseplants upstairs in the kitchen window, so I've brought it down, added it to the table, really. We got a few of those cuttings from that questionable cactus tree thing. So far, they all kind of look like they're doing okay. And then that newest addition, the fern, seems to me it's growing upwards quite nicely. I think I should get on transplanting this thing, give it something a little wider to grow out of, but all in all, things are doing pretty well, and I'm enjoying the fact that things growing on the table don't seem to be of any interest to our little rodent invaders. Here we've got that spider plant, 2 spider plants planted with 2 of those Oh, I believe Babette said it was called a Wandering Jew. But they seem to be doing quite well together and underneath that little LED light. And then this is a grass plant, a Dracania? I don't know, you're welcome to try and pronounce that yourself. But anyway, a friend of ours was going to toss it in the compost because it's an annual, it's going to die, and we thought, I don't know, it's kind of pretty, we'll put it downstairs and see if it survives. It seems to be surviving quite nicely, actually. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting. I'm almost thinking, like, maybe I should try planting a pineapple down here, because that's the kind of, I don't know, tops that we're seeing growing successfully down here. Then we've got the more recent aloe purchase. The sucker has become a monster since it's been down here, and rather predictably growing towards the light. That thing is massive. I've got to take a couple of these branches, leaves, up so that Shocks can skin them off. But she has figured out just a fantastic way to get all of the gel out of those. So we're going to be able to harvest lots of that for future sunburns, which is good because I'm one of those people that when summertime comes around, you can tell because I go lobster before I go tan. I mean, it's a wonderful tan, but it's a pretty deep lobster first. So, yeah, the Darwin table. Some pretty fun successes here this week, I think. Kind of really pleased by that one. That's kind of cool. And I mean, potato seeds, right? That's just too strange. Because here you go. Those are the leftovers that I still haven't harvested the seeds from, because I'm going to just kind of let them, well, for want of a better term, rot down a little bit, and then see if next time I get a slightly higher sprout rate. So, yeah, there's always something going on. Always testing, learning, growing. Yeah, good times, good times. Loving this fern. Alright, and if I'm quick enough, I can end this before the aquaponic pump kicks in again and sends y'all off running to the loo. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thank y'all for joining me yet again as we take a look at what's growing on here down in my dungeon here in chilly West Manitoba. It is currently snowing outside, but you know what? That's really no excuse for me to stop gardening. I've got a dungeon. I'm not using it for anything else. So, yeah, might as well plant a few plants. Alright, on that note, I will see you all next week. Much love, everybody. Take care. Stay safe out there. And, yeah, take care. Oh, there's the aquaponics. Gotta go.